Hello my friends, welcome back to Watch Movie Channel. Today we will be reviewing a movie called Blood Hunt. Don't forget to grab your coffee and snack. Somewhere in the midnight, an exhausted man is dragging a body with anger and frustration. Apparently, the victim was a lady and he lay her down behind the truck and start ripping off her clothes. And he began to rape her. She hits him in the face, but that didn't stop him from proceeding. He returned a very hard hit and she passed out. It is an early morning around 6 o'clock. A girl wake up from her bed and she is doing her daily morning routine. On the other hand, a guy is coming back from work with his friends. He texts his girlfriend as he get into the car. He drives to her house. Upon getting there, he light up a cigarette as he was waiting for her. But he kills the cigarette as soon as his girlfriend comes out from the house. He helps her putting her stuff at the back. She offered him a sandwich and he enjoyed it. He changed his work uniform to a normal outfit. Then they drove away. Then they leave the place for a tour. They drive through the city's area, rural area, and countryside. They enjoy the ride as Claire and Dim were talking about her close friend being pregnant. The conversation leads to them not having a kid. Dim says he refused to have a kid, which make Claire a little frustrated, and they stay quiet until the next stop. They rest a little at a food market. Claire bought some food for them and they continue their journey. As they drive through without GPS, finally, they reached a small town, and it seems like Dim is lost, but he doesn't want to admit that he lost the way. They stop at one gas station to fill up the car gas. As Dim taking care of the gas pump, Claire used the bathroom from behind the building. After a while she returns back to the car and sit there by herself while Dim is in the store. Suddenly, a stranger approached to Claire through a car window and asked her for a lighter. She told him she doesn't smoke, but he insists and threatened her to look for it in the car. At the same time, Dim came out from the building and lent his lighter to a strange man. The stranger light up his cigarette and give back the lighter to Dim as he stares at Claire. As they leave the place, a stranger and his friend look at them as they drive away. Claire told Dim that he was too nice to them. And Dim replied by saying, "You shouldn't mess with such strangers." They drove to a motel, rent a room, and Dim pulls Claire on the bed with him. They make love together with pure intention. In the next morning, Dim went out to go get some breakfast. Claire feels happy about the energy they both have. Dim asked Claire to go to hiking. She agreed with him and they get ready for it. They leave the motel happily. As they were on the way, they saw a stranger car broke down from food market earlier. Dim feeling like helping him, but Claire told him to leave him alone since she doesn't trust her and that stranger used to threaten her. Dim listened to his girlfriend that they drove away as the stranger come out from his broken car. They reached the mountain and they started to hike up on top of the mountain. They giggle and flirt with each other as they hiking. They reached the top with a nice view, enjoy the fresh air, and came back to the car with Claire on the back of Dim. They leave the hiking place. On their way back, the car got overheated, so Dim parked the car on the side of the road. He trying to figure out what is wrong with the engine. While Dim is on the ground fixing the car, he spot a car coming and park from behind Dim's car. A fat guy approached to Dim and asked what is the problem. Dim says the car just needed to cool down. Apparently, a stranger from earlier was with a fat guy. He came outside from the car and trashed talking to Dim. In the same time, another dude was standing next to Claire's door. Dim says he doesn't want any trouble. But the conversation got heated and Dim threw a punch at that stranger. A fight break out. Two men were on Dim and the other dude were trying to pull out Claire from the car. Dim grabbed a glass bottle and smashed one of the attacker's head. Then he ran back to Claire and saved her from being dragged into their car. It seems like they were after Claire already. Dim hops into their car as well as Claire. With a rush, Dim leave the place as soon as possible. However, those thugs are on their tail, following them through a countryside road. Dim see the engine heat level is high again, but he keep driving. As the chase is going on, Dim car started go slowly, so they catch up with them. The thugs hit Dim's car from the side, and it rolls several times till the car is upside down. Claire wakes up and finds Dim is unconscious. Out of nowhere, the thug grab Claire hair and drag her. He kick her and pass out. Two of them are tied up in the trunk. Claire start panicking. She screamed for helps. But Dim told it useless, and he found something sharp. As he tried to cut Claire's tied up rope, the thugs opened the trunk. The fat thug put Claire on his shoulder, and Dim got dragged to the abandoned warehouse. They tied Dim up with a wire rope around his neck while Claire was abused by the thugs. They tortured Dim by covering his head and pouring water on his head. The thug leader asked the other two to hang him upside down. While they are beating up and torturing Dim, Claire, on the other hand, cut off the rope, free herself, and trying to escape the place. The thug leader noticed something is wrong, and when they check on Claire, she was gone. They look for her everywhere. One of the thug, Jarek, grab a rifle. The thug leader and the fat thug are looking for Claire. She is nowhere to be found. But with a scope, Jarek found Claire hiding behind a truck and starts shooting at her. He yells where she is located, so the other two come to Claire's direction. Claire had no choice but to run. The fat thug catch up with her. Claire defends herself with a sharp metal and go through a wire fence. She found a car and start the engine. At that point, the thugs were already surrounding Claire. Too bad that Claire couldn't drive a manual. They want to see what she is going to do. They brought him outside, putting a knife on his throat and demanding Claire to come out from the car. Helpless, she decided to come out for her love. Both of them got placed back to the spot. This time, the thug are ready to double their ruthless. Dim got tied up like before, and Claire got tied up with her hands up the sky. While the other two were not around, the fat thug start raping her in front of Dim. Unable to control his anger, somehow, he managed untied himself and hit the fat thug with a metal stick which make him fall down in one blow. Dim then untied his lover and they both ran to the car. Unfortunately, Jarek, with a scope, shooting at them as they run away from the place. As Dim thought they are free, Claire on the side was shot on her stomach. Dim stopped the car, placed Claire on the ground, and witnessed her last breath on his arm. Dim, from that moment, feeling furious and aggressive, he decided to go back to the junkyard with an intention for revenge. He parked the car in a distance and walked up to the thug's yard with a dagger on his hand. While Jarek was sitting in one of them broken car, Dim attacked him from the side. Jarek tried to wrap the seatbelt around Dim's neck, but Dim stabbed him with a dagger on his thigh. Dim got out, and as Jarek go for Dim to the driver's seat, Dim banged the door which made Jarek head crack and lost his life. On the moment, the two other thugs were looking for their friend Jarek. All they found was a dead body, and they noticed that Dim is coming back for them. They both start looking for him. However, Dim was already on the watch to them. As the leader go inside, Dim with the shovel attack the fat thug from behind, cutting off his leg and smash his head with a shovel. He then grab a knife and proceed to kill the thug's leader. The leader was already waiting for him in the room. They both start fighting. Dim was exhausted, so the leader had an upper hand and put Dim on the ground. While wrestling, Dim grabbed a hard metal with his left hand and hit the leader's head, knock him out. He blew several punches to his face, broke his face bones. He tied up his legs with a wire and hang him upside down until he died. He makes sure that he is going to die, then he came outside with bloods all over him. The movie ends as he walks away.